Let's talk about something that goes way beyond just having a simple backup plan. We're diving into what it really takes to build proven, battle-tested resilience, especially for when things go wrong in the messy, complex, multi-cloud world we all live in now.
It's a really comforting thought, isn't it? Your critical data is backed up, maybe across AWS, Azure, and GCP. You've checked the box, you've done your job. But let's be honest, when a real crisis hits, when the pressure is on, is that backup plan you have on paper actually going to work?
And that question, well, it leads us to a really dangerous reality in cloud computing. I call it the backup paradox. See, the biggest risk isn't just that your backup might fail. It's that you think it's going to work, no problem. That false sense of security, it's a huge blind spot, because a recovery plan you've never actually tested isn't a plan at all. It's just a hope. And hope is not a strategy when disaster strikes.
So why is this a thing? Why do these carefully thought-out plans so often just crumble when you need them most? Well, the simple answer is that theory is always clean and simple, but reality? Reality is messy, especially in a multi-cloud world.
I mean, just look at the complexity we're dealing with here. When you're juggling different clouds, you're not just dealing with one set of tools or one way of managing access. You've got totally different terminology, different security models, and teams spread out all over the place. In a real crisis, trying to get all those moving parts to work together, that's exactly where untested plans just fall apart.
Okay, so if just having a plan on paper isn't enough, what's the answer? It's simple: practice. The goal here isn't just to pass some kind of test, it's to build real muscle memory for your teams. We want to turn that panicked scramble through a dusty old playbook into a calm, practiced, and, effective response.
And this practice really comes in two main flavors: drills and game days. Think of a drill like a musician practicing scales. It's very focused, very controlled. You're testing one specific thing, like, can we restore this one database? A game day, though, that's the full dress rehearsal. It's a much broader, scenario-driven exercise that tests everything at once: your people, your processes, and your tools, often with multiple teams and clouds involved.
So what does one of these dress rehearsals actually look like? Let's walk through a concrete example. A focused 3-hour game day that lets you put your theories to the test without, derailing your entire week.
It's really structured and time-boxed. Hour 1 is all about alignment, getting everyone on the same page about the goals and what exactly you're testing. Hour 2, that's showtime. You intentionally inject a failure, and then you just watch. You observe how the team detects it, escalates it, and responds. And then Hour 3, which is arguably the most important part, is the debrief. This is where the real learning happens, where you capture what went right, what went wrong, and what needs to change.
And this right here highlights the most important rule of any game day. The goal is learning. It's about building confidence. It is not about blame. You have to create a psychologically safe space where your teams can find the weaknesses and try out solutions without fear of getting in trouble. That's how they build real confidence.
Of course, the real magic of these exercises is what they actually uncover. By embracing a little controlled, simulated failure in a totally safe environment, you find all those hidden problems in your systems and your processes before a real crisis does it for you.
And the failures you simulate have to be realistic. We need to think bigger than just a server crashing. We're talking about simulating the accidental deletion of a production database, or a major cloud region going down. Or how about something really subtle, like a permissions error that blocks your own team from accessing the very backups they need to fix the problem? Each one of these is like a targeted stress test for your response plan.
But these simulations do way more than just test a technical process. They expose the deeper, systemic issues. Things like that runbook that's hopelessly out of date, or the communication gap between two critical teams. Or, and this is a big one, the shocking realization that your core assumptions were just wrong. Maybe your recovery time objective, your RTO, right, how fast you thought you could get back online, was wildly optimistic. Or maybe your recovery point objective, your RPO, how much data you can afford to lose, was totally unachievable with your current setup. These are the golden nuggets of insight you're looking for.
So all of this work, it's really about moving beyond a static playbook. It's about transforming a document that's just gathering digital dust on a server somewhere into a living, breathing, and continuously improving capability that your organization can actually rely on.
And here's the crucial part. A game day doesn't just end after that 3-hour debrief. No, that's when the real work begins. It becomes a cycle. You capture concrete action items from what you learned, you go and fix the automation gaps and update your docs, You adjust your recovery goals to reflect reality, and then, this is the most important step, you get the next exercise on the calendar. You repeat the process.
And when you really commit to this cycle, that's when you achieve what we call proven resilience. This is the big shift. You go from hoping your plan works to knowing it will work. It's the kind of confidence that doesn't come from a perfect document. It comes from a well-practiced team that has faced failure together and come out stronger on the other side.
So I'll just leave you with this question. Is your recovery plan a document, or is it a tested, living capability? Because when a real crisis hits, the difference between those two is quite literally everything.